Welcome to the quick take here on the Fulhamish YouTube channel. We're here at the Craft Beer Company in Hammersmith. Thank you to the lads here for giving us a table and giving us a couple of drinks. I'm here with Dan. Hello.
Hi Sammy, how are we doing?
We're all a bit glum, a bit sad, and I've kind of not used to this really. I'm used to Fulham either winning or putting at least in good performances, but today was total shite, pretty much from minute one.
Yeah, and we're used to Fulham turning up against teams below us, right? And there are games we've had this season where we play teams that we know are better than us and we put in a good shift and ultimately we never come up with the points. But against the teams below us, we're so used to turning up and making it routine. And today it just looked like we almost expected to do that and it just didn't happen. And, you know, Burnley put in their shift and they took their moments when they came and we deserve nothing. We genuinely, it's hard to be more annoyed about it because we just didn't deserve it and we got nothing and that's what we deserved.
I hate to use the word. Was it a bit arrogant today? Like, was it a little bit, we'll turn up, we'll beat Burnley? I just felt like we lacked intensity from the first whistle. And I think Marco, we haven't seen what he said after the match, but I think he'll be there saying that post-match. I think he'll be like, that's not good enough.
Yeah, we didn't move it quickly enough. And that was, you know, we were speaking about it, how Burnley defended quite wide. You know, their fullbacks were pushed out wide and defending us on the flanks. And we know that's where we can cause issues. If you get Castagna overlapping, you get Robinson overlapping, we can create opportunities. But Burnley defended wide and we couldn't make that happen. And in those moments, that's when we need a bit of intensity, try and do something different, try and move it into the middle. And it was just so safe and nice. And I do think that there is usually a problem in games where Fulham have a lot of the ball. Like, I think sometimes if teams just allow us to have loads of possession, we sometimes aren't quite sure how to make something happen.
Yeah, it felt a little bit like a throwback to championship times where came up against a side that we should be dominant against and then we didn't quite get that early goal, we didn't get that first half goal, and then suddenly they get one and we had no ideas, did we? I mean, was there the only chance I can really think of was maybe the one where Robinson, it's actually a really lovely move and he does well as well. It's just saved. It's one of those things, but it's the only real chance I can think of. And against a side that have lost as many games as Burnley have, and there's no disrespect to Burnley,
No.
Good side, you know, won the championship at a canter for a reason, but like, come on, I can accept losing. If it was one of those games where Fulham had 35 shots or whatever, I could be like, oh, it's not our day, but we barely created anything either.
Yeah, and I think in the first half I was sort of vaguely okay with it because it felt like we were just one moment away from creating something, and Burnley were playing out from the back as everyone knows. They were sort of stuck to their guns. They want to play out from the back and they looked fallible. We looked like we'd nick it off them, and we did a couple of times. And then in the second half we gave them that opportunity to go one up, and then at that point they just had everything to cling on to. Like, they were just, that's what they're desperate for at the moment, is just anything to be like, get ahead in the game and just cling on. And we never created opportunities enough, like that Robinson one where you get into those tight areas of the box. Everything was so sort of nice and out wide, but we don't have anyone to aim for. Like, for all the effort that Rodrigo Muniz puts in, he's not much of an aerial threat, and we know that Carlos Vinicius isn't an aerial threat. So we were just whipping balls into the box to no one, and I think we just played into Burnley's hands. And obviously they do deserve credit for sort of getting through that, but that's a game we should be turning up, getting an early goal, and cruising. But I think arrogance is possibly there. I think also maybe mental fatigue. I don't think we looked tired, like leggy tired. I think we just looked sort of bereft of ideas, and that might come after 90 minutes plus penalty shootouts, incredibly draining on Tuesday night, and sort of getting yourself back up for a Burnley game at home. Yeah, it's not excusable, but it seemed like it might have been a factor.
Yeah, I mean, let's just talk about the goals. I mean, I feel like the first goal is just a good goal. It's a 1-2. Pellegrini gets a little bit caught out, but I don't think any blame could be put on Leno, really. I mean, it's not right in the corner, but I think we mostly can put that down to good goal.
Yeah, it's a good finish. It's a really good finish. He opens his body up nicely, and they use that little 1-2 around Pellegrini very well. I think you're right. He gets sold probably too easily, and it does happen to him every now and then because he's so eager to win the ball that sometimes I think it goes against us on the edge of the box because he just dives in. Like, he really commits to challenges, and we've seen it a few times actually this season where it's led to an opportunity for them to shoot from the edge of the area because he just is too keen to get there. But I thought both goals were almost identical, really, where we just gave the ball away cheaply in midfield and then didn't react. Like, I think the second goal is worse because Sander Berge picks it up in the centre circle and runs in a straight line for like 30 metres and then has a free shot. Like it's bonkers, because when we think we've got one of the best holding midfielders in the league, he gets caught high up the pitch and suddenly you've got his midfielder alongside him is Tom Cairney, and he's not built for that. He's not built to deal with that, and we paid the price.
Do you think this is maybe moments where, like, look, I love Tom Cairney, and I'm certainly not being as fickle enough to be like, oh, no, we should change the team, but you wonder, does Harrison Reed maybe give you a little bit more solidity? Easy say in hindsight. I think we were all before the match thinking, oh, Cairney will cook against Burnley.
No, do you know what? I think Cairney was the right pick, ultimately, because we had so much possession. And in games where we have possession, I think you want Tom Cairney to unlock opposition defences. It just didn't come off today. But I'd still, if we were playing this game again tomorrow, I'd still want Tom Cairney on the pitch. But it's just, that's the flip side of it. When you've got him on the pitch, you know that you're a little bit more susceptible to counter-attacks. Yeah. And there are other players, I think, that probably need to chip in and do their part. Like, it's not exclusively his fault that Sander Berg can run that far unchallenged.
Yeah, and bigger picture, I think one of the most disappointing aspects today is I think that Fulham have this brilliant record. We've had it for a couple of seasons now, where we can look at seasons and say, oh, right, actually, every game that we've played, we've lost to bigger teams, but we've beaten the teams that we should have beaten. There's a couple of notable exceptions in there. Well, this is a big old exception, and really has maybe slightly killed that theory in one afternoon, because this is just a team that you have to beat promoted teams at home, right?
You do, but I don't think it's like the end of this whole theory. I think still we are. I still think we're just a cut above of those teams that sit below us, and there are just days when it's not going to be our day. I don't think this is like the end of it. I don't think it needs drastic changes. I think one thing we've spoken about is that probably, and this is nuts to say it, but if we had Raul Jimenez today, I think we probably win that game. And if you look back 2 months ago, I don't think anyone would have said that. But to me, it felt like we just don't work as well at the moment without Raul through the middle. I think the team has now learned how to play with him. And then we've played the same way today. And we did it against Everton as well. We played the same way and it just doesn't work, because Raul's really good at making the ball stick. He's good at making himself a threat in the box. And we just didn't have either of those things today. We couldn't make it stick up top. Rodrigo Muniz tried hard, but ultimately that's not enough. Like, it's the Premier League. Like, trying hard doesn't get you very far.
Yeah. Well, look, a bit of a reality check. Is that the right word? I don't know if it's a reality check. Is it just?
I think it is. I think it is that we shouldn't just be looking down on teams just because other teams push aside Burnley, Sheffield United, Luton. Actually, if you look at those 3 games we played at home against those 3 promoted sides, none of them were a cruise. We made hard work of Luton, 1-0. Yeah. A scrappy goal to win it. Sheffield United was 1-1 until about 20 minutes to go, and we lost today. And I think we do just have to maybe just understand that it's not going to be a walkover. I think there is a little bit of a reality check in there, but it means that we just have to make sure we go elsewhere and hunt for these points. We've got to make that 3 points up from somewhere else where we maybe weren't expecting it, because that's a big loss today.
Yeah, I think also for me, like that, I honestly, on the evidence of the last few weeks, I'd have been like, oh, Fulham could push top 6, 7, like honestly, it was that good. But I think maybe today was a bit more like, no, I think this team still probably will be 12th, 13th, because we're going to have crap days like today. So yeah.
I think we're probably where we deserve to be, but that's not to say if in January we sign a genuinely exceptional number 9. And maybe another winger who gives us a bit of a spark, that we can't kick on. But right now, I think this team is where it is on merit. Yeah. Like, we've got the results that we've expected, and we've lost the games that we expected to lose based on the quality of our squad, and it's no better than where we are in the table at the moment, I don't think.
Yeah. All right, well, that'll do for the quick take today. Thank you.
Been a pleasure. That's made me feel a little bit better. Okay. Not much, but a little bit.
Hopefully the same for people watching. Thanks again to the lads at the Craft Beer Company. Always good down here at Hammersmith Station. And we'll see you soon. Come on, you whites.